So one day the daughter discovered, the last born daughter, and she never did anything. Actually, she even took more advantage of the situation. Unapata saa zile watu hawako, ananifungia bedroom, anakufunga mikono na miguu, then anaanza kuinsert sticks.
What?
In the private parts. And you cannot dare say anything.
And that's now a lady doing that to you.
And she was a mature person, above 18, a mother to a child. She was already a mother. The doctor confirmed I was pregnant. So, you know, the first person, because I was so close to this brother that I was like, how am I pregnant? I don't even have a boyfriend. So how is it possible? Kaambia, Karo unataka kusema huku kujibamba. So I was like, how? Si ule rafiki yangu ule walikuwa na uniform.
No.
So I was like, how? Sema, simi alinipea pesa kidogo to have a good time with you.
Hello Tuko family, thank you so much for joining today's episode. Today I am joined by a guest who has gone through so much and I will let her introduce herself. Karibu sana kwenye show.
Asante.
Unaendelea vipi?
Niko salama, nashukuru.
Thank you so much. I know you've gone through a lot in life and that's why we seated here so that you can share your story with us.
Yes.
And you've decided to wear orange sisi wawili.
It's a coincidence.
I know, we decided to orange the world,
Yeah.
which is the theme of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm Caroline Chagaya, born in Vihiga County, Western Province. And I'm the first born to my dad, but the second born to my mom. And in life, my story is a story of pains, struggles, but also victory. It's a journey that started after my parents separated when I was 5 years old, and I had to go with my mom. My mom later got married somewhere else. Na hangeniacha, so we went together. I joined school.
Yeah.
And I could walk a distance of around 5 kilometers to school every single morning. During that period, life was okay at first because my mom was there for me. But things changed when she gave birth. And I became the nanny of that child.
Yeah.
So I could practically do everything. I take care of this young child. And when I come back from school, I was to go do the household chores. Then I go look for grass, I go and sell. At that time, one sack went for 20 shillings. I go and buy 2 kg of maize. I grind flour, then I take home.
So you were doing all that and at the same time you're still going to school?
Yes. So it was a daily routine. If I don't look for grass, there will be no food. Because mom was doing just odd jobs, like going to other people's farms to work on their farms. And sometimes if she doesn't find the job, then the man, I might say, was not responsible enough.
Yeah.
Because if he was, then I could not be doing what I was doing at that early age. I was not even 10 by then. So as time went by, things became harder. And it came to a point where my mom started to sell bang and cigarettes. Hadi na kupika busaa. And wherever we could have funeral around or in the village, I could be given the changa, the cigarette and bang to go and sell.
So she will give you these cigarettes and bang and changa to go sell at Disco Matanga?
Yes. During the night. Na ilikuwa lazima nimalize kuuza kila kitu na hizo pesa nilete home. When I was 13, And this step-grandfather, that's the father-in-law to my mom, started to make sexual advances at me. Because I think mom created that environment, because anytime it reaches around 6 p.m. or around 7, anasema chukua ndugu yako mwende kwa shosho. So whenever we are there, we could just sit. Grandfather is there, like anakuja na small gifts like to sweetie ama ndizi, anakushika. Oh, by there I was small, I didn't even have breads, so nila anakuja anaanza kupapasa papasa, and you're like, this is not right. Mami alisema nisiguzwe na mtu yeyote, but it's like, I am your grandfather, you see. Then when you become so uncomfortable, you go and tell your parent, he's like, grandfather cannot do that, he's a grown-up person. Na ustahili kusema vitu mbaya kumuhusu. So it went that way, hadi unapata anakufinyia kwa ukuta, like anasongesha nguo juu, anakutoa hadi panty, anajirabia kwako, unaona. And saa hiyo amekava mdomo, you cannot even shout. And in that same house there are people. It's not that he's alone, but juu amefunika mdomo, you cannot shout.
He's doing it with other people around.
Yeah. So one day the daughter discovered, the last born daughter, and she never did anything. Actually, she even took more advantage of the situation. Unapata saa zile watu hawako, ananifungia bedroom, anakufunga mkono na miguu, then anaanza kuinsert sticks.
What?
In the private parts. And you cannot dare say anything.
And that's now a lady doing that to you.
And she was a mature person, above 18, a mother to a child. She was already a mother, not even someone who has not given birth. And she could even just take me to the house full of men and says, you know what, I'm having this one, you will have this one. If you refuse, then you know what is coming next. Anakufungia tu kwa bed, anaanza kukudunga na vijiti. So I grew up in fear, not having anyone to talk to. And you're like, if you talk, if your mom can't believe you, nobody else will. So ikaendelea hivi until the pain became just too much to bear. And I decided enough is enough. So I could sometimes go, I tell mom just to see if he can believe me, but napigwa, unaona ile kuchapwa. Hadi unabaki tu unatetemeka tu mali umeketi. Natoroka naenda to my uncle's, nakaa huko for a week, ananiambia you have to go back to your mom.
They have to return you back to the same place where you're being abused.
So naenda tu, tunakaa, but you're like, you are out of place, you are not needed. Then one day, when the grandfather came, and he did the normal, and I said, if I tell mom, I'll get a beating of my life. So the best thing is just to run away. And my grandmom told me, kesho, I'll refer you to somebody who will take you to your dad. And I was happy, but still I was nervous. So I slept. The following day, a man came and told me, you said your father is called Sense? And I said, yes. So he told me, okay, I'll take you. So this man took me, and I remember we met a lady. She was going out, but this man said, you know what, don't go out, I have a visitor for you. And the lady came back, opened the door, and said, this is so-and-so. And she said she's looking for somebody by the name so-and-so. And the lady looked at me, akaanza kunikagua, akaniambia, kuna ile jina sasa nilikuwa nimepewa na my grandmom. Akaniuliza, are you Sense? And I said, yeah, it's me. And she really cried because I was very malnourished, with tattered clothes, like I was looking like a street child. I was so dirty. And she was like, are you sure you are the one? And I said, yeah. So she welcomed me. I had a shower. They gave me something to eat. And they told me, welcome home. So that's when I went back to my paternal home.
Yeah.
The following day, Dad came because he was not staying around. And we met after a long time. It was on a Saturday. Then on a Monday, my mom reported my dad to the chief and said my dad had kidnapped me. So we were summoned. And when we went there, the chief asked me, do you want to go with your mom or do you remain with your dad? And for me, I said, I'm going to remain with my dad. So the stepdad said, like, if that's the case, I need compensation. Then they asked, compensation for what? And he said, I've been taking care of her since she was 6 months. And I told him, I came to your place when I was old enough and I knew what was happening. And I can recall all the activities that took place. Even the time that we arrived at your place, I can recall. So he said, even if it's the case, but I still need compensation. So the chief asked, what do you want? Akasema anataka ng'ombe na some few cash. Then akamwambia, okay, just go by Saturday utaletewa. So my dad gave them a cow and the cash they had requested for. And I stayed back home with my dad and my grandmom.
So now you're at your dad's place. How was life like?
At first, life was okay. I got used to the environment and I was enrolled in school. I was in class 7 by then. And I was staying with my grandmom and my aunt since my dad was not married and I was not allowed to stay with him. But he could visit every day. When I was in Form 2, kukatokea na matanga home. Na the one who had died alikuwa ni KDF. Akaletwa home. Na aliletwa na soja wenzake. So we as Luya people, lazima tunakuanga na ile sherehe ya mwisho ya kucelebrate. Sasa mimi nikaona juzi ni kwa boma, wacha nisilale, let me just sit here with my friends from school. Tukisikiza kwaya venye zinaimba. Then there came this guy dressed in uniform. Akauliza mtatumia soda gani? So kila mtu alikuwa anasema soda yenye atakunywa. And by that time, whenever mtu angekupea soda, you regarded that person like a very important person because it was something very rare to find. Huwezi pata tu mtu anakupea soda hivi hivi.
Yeah.
So we really respected this person kasema, yenyewe huyo mtu ni mtu wa maana sana. So akaenda akaleta soda, na zote zilikuwa zimefunguliwa. Then from there, I didn't know what happened next. After kuamka asubuhi, it was around 9 a.m. Kajipata niko kwa bed. And I was like, how did I find myself here? The last thing I recalled ni nikipewa soda.
By a guy dressed in a uniform?
Yeah.
I'm a uniform?
Yes. So nikakaa, kaamka nikasikia, nasikia uchovu, mwili imechoka, some headaches. Kuamka hivi na kanyaga chini nikaona, kwa bedsheet kuna damu. And I was like, kwani period? And it's barely 2 weeks since nione period and it was my first period. Nikaona hiyo ni aibu because damu haikuwa inafaa kuonekana. So nikajificha nikaenda kwa mto, nikaoga, nikafua hizo vitu. Because I didn't have a problem kukauko sana hadi nguo zikauke because sasa si watu wamekaa kwa mkutano ya mazishi. So nobody would look for me. Unaona?
Damu ilikuwa imepita hadi kwa nguo, ilikuwa kwa nguo.
Yeah. Sasa nikaenda after kujiosha, nikafua. Si nikavaa na mimi nikaoga nikarudi home. Then nilikuwa nasikia maumivu na singe explain. Kuangalia hapo kwa meza nikaona namba fulani imeandikwa hapo, namba ya simu. No? Hakuna mtu. So mimi nikaona hii namba anyway maybe mtu ameacha hapo. Sasa mimi nikaachukua tu nikapelekea brother yangu mwenye hiyo nyumba sasa. Kamwambia hii namba nilipata wapi? Kwa room yako. Siku ikaendelea, akaniambia acha tu nitapiga nijue ni ya nani. Little did I know that he knew your number ni ya nani. After 3 months, nikasikia auntie anaambia shosho, Karo is pregnant. And I was like, how can I be pregnant when I've not known any man? Unaona? Nikaenda, Nikawakasirikia for 2 weeks. Kawambia mnanidanganyishia. And they told me, Caro, we have to go to the hospital. So when we went to the hospital, the doctor confirmed I was pregnant. So, you know, the first person, because I was so close to this brother that I was like, how am I pregnant? I don't even have a boyfriend. So how is it possible? Kaniambia, Karo, unataka kusema huku kujibamba. So I was like, how? Si ule rafiki yangu ule walikuwa na uniform.
No.
So I was like, how? Sema, simi alinipea pesa kidogo to have a good time with you. At first, I didn't know what he meant. So nikamuuliza akasema, kwani soda ulikuwa unakunywa ilikuwa ya bure? You see? Kasema, that guy paid me some few coins so that he could spend the night with you.
No.
And that's why ulijipata kwa room yangu, because I allowed him kutumia room yangu. You see? So I was so shocked, and actually I cursed him and told him, you'll never live to enjoy your life. Like the way you have ruined my life, your life will also be ruined. Unaona? Because that was now the time when my dad could beat me and tell me. That was the first time I received a beating from my dad. Because alikuwa ananiuliza, who is responsible? I couldn't even say. Unaona? Now they told me, dad told me, Caro, from today onwards, you're no longer my child. I couldn't go back to my mom because the pain that I went through in that place was just too much for me to go back. Dad here has already disowned me. My grandmother told me, Caro, what have you done? Church, I was that church girl, like, nilikuwa naitwa mama kanisa. Like, every time I'm in the church, mi ndio napeleka watoto wa Sunday school seminar na my youths. Like, I was a role model.
I can imagine the kind of stigma you went through.
And the pastor called me, and she was a lady. She called me and told me, Caro, you have disappointed me. Only that. And she never talked to me up to date. So I was like, what now? So I decided to abort. And I said, once I abort this child, nobody will blame me. So I tried to take tea leaves. Nikatapika. Hadi nikasikia tumbo, nika sasa haina kitu. Na mimi na ile ujinga wangu, I knew I had already aborted the baby. Because I was looking at my body naona. Sasa sioni sehemu yote mtoto anaweza tokea. So I knew atatokea wapi? Kwa mdomo.
You were too naive then, innocent to know the whole situation.
Exactly. So when I vomited, I felt like I'm okay now. I've already aborted the child. Nobody will look at me and say, Caro, you're pregnant. Caro, you have disappointed us. You see? But little did I know that nothing had happened. After 6 months, I was like, hey, tumbo yangu inaendelea kugrow. And whenever I'm in class, I could sleep. Like most of the time, I could just sleep.
Oh, you were still going to school?
Yeah, I was still going to school. And actually, it was like nothing has happened. I went back to the hospital, took some tests, and the doctor said, the baby is doing okay. Like I was shocked. And I was like, what have I done? So I started blaming myself. And I went back to God and said, God, I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just the devil. You see, like the way we like to blame the devil sometimes.
Yeah.
And I said, God, I'm really sorry. And I disconnect this child with any evil thoughts. Like just protect him or her. Just make this child healthy. And just help me to deliver safely. Because I was now all alone. And since I gave birth, I never went to the hospital that the baby is sick. Until 1 year, venye alianza kutoa hizo meno. Ndio sasa ile kuhara tu juu ya meno. Ndio nikampeleka hosi. You see? So for me, it was a miracle. And huwa nasema like, that child is just a miracle baby, you know? Because if I could have aborted, then I don't know. where will I be right now? Like I could have lived with that guilty conscience for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So after kulima hiyo barabara nikapata pesa, then kanunua ka shopping kadogo, and life continued.
Yeah.
And I remember my aunt pia alikuwa na mtoto mdogo, na hangenipea hata napkin moja, hata leso hangenipea. Like it was like I'm not needed. Yes, ni kwetu hapo ndo nimezaliwa, but I'm not needed because I've disappointed them. No. I was a disgrace to that family. So after 6 months, I remember angepika uji, atoe yangu kabla ijaiva, yake maziwa, yake sukari. But still mtoto wangu angekunya and she was still healthy.
Ni God.
Yeah. So after 6 months akaniambia, Karo, you need to work. Na kuna job nimekutafutia Nairobi. I was like, now how will I work? My child is barely 6 months.
Yeah.
Kasema, don't worry, amekubaliwa na mtoto. So I was happy. Fare ikatumwa. Nilirauka 4 in the morning. Nikakuja Nairobi. And since I didn't have a phone, nilikuwa nimeandikiwa namba kwa karatasi, nikaambia ukishuka hivi country bus, call this number.
Yeah.
So mimi kushuka nikapiga hiyo namba, huyo jamaa akaniambia, kaa tu mahali huko usitoke. So when we came, akanikujia na mtoto, tukaenda hadi kwa nyumba. The first day, we slept well. The second day, the reality now came in. And the man said, do you know why you came? And I said, yeah, I came to work. And said, no, you're now my wife.
What?
Yes. So I was like, wife, how is that even possible? I don't know you. You have never met. Like, this is the first time you are meeting. How can I be your wife? And said, yeah, wewe hukuambiwa. Kama hukuambiwa, tajipanga. So this man could lock me in the house. I had a job. Arudi, nikiwa kwa nyumba. I was not allowed to talk to anyone. I was not allowed to go anywhere. I just be alone. Na ningethubutu nitoka hata hivi nje ya gate. Sijui alikuwa ameweka spy. Akikuja jioni, utasikia what were you doing? Mali fulani.
He has all
at
the
this
information.
time. Yes. So tukaka, like, life was not easy because giving yourself to somebody you haven't had an agreement with, it wasn't easy. So whenever this man could need sex, I'm not interested. Itakuwa ni vita. Unapata mnaamka, anachukua belt. Kwanza anasema, hebu kuja ulale, ambia, I'm still not feeling sleepy. And he's like, anatoa belt. Kama huku unataka kunipea singesema. You see, like, it's like something he's forcing.
And you say you are also dealing with trauma, considering that you had been abused previously.
And it's something like you just have to heal,
Yeah.
adjust to that environment. So ikakaa hivyo, like, I remember there is a day, one night, aliamka akanichapa, akaniambia, kama huku unataka kunipea, si ungesema. And I got so angry. And I told him, hii kitu ndio inafanywa na nichapa kila mara. Fadhali niikate. So I took the knife.
Ulimwambia hivyo?
Yeah, because I was so pissed off. Like, you know, kila time mtu anakuslap, kila time mtu belt, you see. So nikachukua kisu, nikamwambia, hii kitu ndio inafanya unichape kila saa. Si niikate tu basi. Ndio nione utatoa pia excuse ya kunichapa. But unfortunately alinishinda na nguvu. I couldn't fight him. Then hiyo kisu ikanigwara hapa. Na akanirusha nje na mtoto. And kwenda nje, it was around midnight. And the only place I could think of ni police station.
Yeah.
So I was just walking because I didn't even know where the police station was. So I was just walking. Then I found someone. Nikamuuliza mahali police station iko. Akanipeleka. I went and told the officer, mimi nimefukuzwa nje na nimeona nikuje hapa for my safety. So the police officer asked for the number. They called the man. Akasema, it's too late for me. I cannot come. Akasema, sawa, kuja asubuhi. Forgetting, I've just come at that time. He didn't even think about my safety and the safety of my child. You see? So in the morning, I slept. In the morning, the man came. So the officer said, hizi ni maissues tumezoea kila siku.
They say
Yeah.
that.
Like couples argue and it's normal, tushazoea.
Hii mambo ya nyumbani.
Yes, ni mambo ya nyumbani. Na wewe mbona unakataa kupeana mali? Pea mzee mali yake, you see? Akasema, mzee chukua bibi yako muende. And we went back home. Tukakaa. The man told me, Ebu, endo nunue githeri tukule. It was around lunch time. So mimi na mtoto tukaenda kununua githeri. Kurudi, the house was locked. I don't have the key. The man has gone. I don't have even a phone. So nikaomba simu, I called him. He was not picking. Tukakaa nje, si tukakula hiyo githeri na mtoto. Fortunately, I had a classmate alikuanga, tulianza naye nursery. Alikuanga anauza cosmetics. Nikaenda nikamuelezea. Then she referred me to a friend of hers. Alikuwa anafanya kazi kwa club. That friend hosted me for a week with my child. Akambaia hadi nguo.
Yeah.
Like you see, somebody you have never met, somebody, hey, the workings of God, hey, are just beyond what we can imagine. So after that 1 week, they told me, Karo, the only thing you can do ni ile uende uvunje mlango, uchukue nguo zako, then you go back home. So when I went, kwenda tu kuvunja hivi mlango, I had gone with somebody kuvunja. The man called. Kasema usivunje hiyo mlango nakuja. I didn't even know how he knew I was there. So he came, akasema, I just wanted to teach you a lesson. That I'm not someone you can play around with. Ingia kwa nyumba. This weekend, you are going to your parents. Actually, he has never met my parents. He has never met my dad, has never met my mom. Like, my relatives. The only person he knew is this lady who brought me to him.
Yeah.
So I was happy and I told my grandma, the man I'm staying with is coming home. So they made arrangements. Tukatoka, tukapanda gari, tunaenda Western. Hey, simi niliachwa kwa gari.
Are you for real?
Yes. Jamaa alishuka, alifika stage ya kwao, akashuka, akasema, ebu ninunue sukari hapa. The man, that's how he went. Mimi nikabaki kwa gari, nikakaa. Nikaona anapiga simu, anasema, ebu acha ni ende home, nichukue wazee wawili, nikuja na wao kesho. We, fika tu home. Little did I not sense something was wrong. Kaenda nikafika home. Preparations zinaendelea za wageni. Kakaa the following day. It was around 8, nilikuwa kwa shamba na palilia. Because nilikuwa najua watafika around midday. Why? I received a text message. You are no longer my wife. And don't even make an effort of coming back. Vitu zako nitaeka kwa gari zitakukujia. I cried. The humiliation. Like, and I just decided to die at that moment. I even tried committing suicide 3 times, but it didn't work. Imagine somebody disgracing you in that manner. Like you have invited people, your relatives, au wazee wa kijiji unajuanga tu wamama venye uongea.
What you expect wageni wakuje?
Yeah, I really cried. And my grandmother told me, sinuwe ndio ulijipeleka. So, jipe shughuli. So I started doing business, kuuza koo na miwa. After 1 month, he called again. Atirudi tu, but akapeana conditions. Mimi na ile ujinga wangu na utoto wangu, I still came back. Tukaendelea na life. And somebody told me, if you want this man to change, ebu mzalie mtoto. You know, as much as we get advices, but we should be wise enough to think about the consequences of what we take in.
True.
So I decided, okay, let me give birth. Even the delivery date, the man took me to the hospital and never came back. Actually, he switched off his phone. I went back home after delivery. Nikampata ameweka muziki. Wahangala anaimba. Yeah, hana hata shughuli. And things didn't even change. Actually, it became even worse.
And when did you decide to walk out of that marriage?
So when things were not working out, I decided I cannot take it anymore. Watoto wako hapo, responsibilities ni mingi and hajibiki. So one day niliamua, okay, alikuwa ameenda job like for 2 days, hajerudi. So when he came back, nikamwambia hatuna food, and he was like, I don't have money. So kukakaa like namuuliza sasa watoto watalala njaa. Kufika saa 4 inaelekea saa 5, kanipea 50 bob. Kasema endo ninunue mafuta ya taa. Nikamwambia it's too late, I cannot go out right now. Kaniambia umeshinda ukiniitisha, saa hii nakupea na unipe. Nikamwambia I started asking saa 1. Say it's almost 11. How am I supposed to go out at this hour? Akakasirika akanipea slap. Na mimi na ile hasira zangu zote nikaamka nikamrudishia slap. Si vita ikaanza hapo. Tukapigana. Akaniingiza bedroom. Alinichapa. So alikuwa ananichapa akisema leo nitakuua. Na sasa hiyo watoto wako hapo wanaangalia. Then akachukua chuma, akanigonga nayo na nikaanguka chini nikapass out. Nikakaa hapo for a few minutes. So when I regained consciousness, mimi nikachukua kikoi nikajifunika tu na nikatoka nje because he thought maybe I was not breathing. So mimi nikatoka nje and the only place I could think of ni kwa pastor. So I went to my pastor's house, and when he opened the door, the first thing I did is just to go down and cry. I cried for almost 10 minutes just crying. Then they took me to the hospital. The doctor said we cannot treat this wound unless we involve the police. And the pastor said we cannot involve the police. Alianguka kwa bafu. So the doctor asked, kuanguka kwa bafu, how? Na ni hapa hivi, unaona? Akasema, daktari, don't treat this as an issue. We mfanye nini? Mtibu. So the doctor didn't have any option. So nikanyolewa hapo, nikashondwa, and I went back. Nikalala kwa pastor hiyo usiku. The following morning, I went back to that house. So this man was afraid akaona nikantamreport. So he disappeared for at least 1 week. After that, he came back. Alikuwa anakuja, anaomba msamaha. He even involved the church members. Ati waniambie nimkubali kumsamea. But for me, the pain was just too much to bear. Like, you know, it now brings in the memories.
Yeah.
All the things that have been happening to you. And I was like, I cannot. So my heart was too heavy to just forgive him. So tukaendelea. Now the pastor told me, since you don't want to forgive this man, then you are no longer welcomed to my church. And I said, it's okay. So I stayed out of church for at least 1 year without going to church. But now at least I was at peace, just taking care of my kids. Unaenda unafulia mtu, unaoshia mtu vyombo, at least just to put food on the table for the sake of these kids.
And that's what's important actually.
Yeah. So tukaendelea hivyo because I had to move from that area. Nikaenda mahali pengine. So because whatever I was going through, sikuwa nataka, okay, outside the world nilikuwa na portray as the perfect wife, the perfect husband, the perfect family. Unapata wengine wanakuja kuitisha advice and you give them and they're like, hey Carol, wishi ningekuwa na mwanaume kama huyo wako. Little did they know what was happening behind the closed doors. You see? So nikaona, I need to get out of this environment. Nikaenda mahali kwengine. And for me, nilikuwa nasema mimi naishi Komarok. And the man could say, unaona ulipata sponsor. Ndio maana huko unanishughulikia venye inafaa. Sasa watu wanaishi Komarok ni watu wako na pesa. Wewe na ufanyi kazi, umepata wapi pesa za kuishi Komarok? And it made me happy because at least hata akinitafuta hata nipata. Unaona? And I remember we could even eat sukuma wiki, like we buy sukuma wiki ya 20 bob, we eat even for the whole week. Nile tu napewa watoto kadogo tu na strong tea yenye haina hata sukari, just to make something wakule tu kitu waone wamekula. Unaona? And this man kumbe alikuwa amerudi sasa kwa familia yake. On those times alikuwa anadisappear, alikuwa anaenda kwa familia yake.
He was a married man.
Yeah, like this a day tulikuwa church and pastor said, Carol, kwa hii congregation, is there any man you know apart from him? And I said no. The pastor asked him, is there any lady you know apart from Kara? And he said yes. Imagine mbele ya madhabahu. I was so ashamed. And ile uchungu, and like tears were just rolling, just trying to control them. And I was like, God, what have I gotten myself into? So the pain was just too much. And I said, the best thing you can do, just stay with your family and just leave me alone. But kaka hivyo, but I developed depression. Nikachukia kila mtu. Whenever somebody could just call me Karo, especially men, I just turn around, slap you and run. I didn't even care because I was at a point where I thought I have seen my worst. So nothing mattered to me. Kaka hivyo, so siku moja tu kwa WhatsApp group kuna hizi topics zinakujanga and you give a comment in a bitter way. So the admin inboxed me and said, hey Karo, are you okay? Na mimi pia nikamtolea hasira zangu zote. I said, calm down. Are you willing to share? Ambia not now. So he didn't want to speak more. He just referred me to a counselor. Akaambia rafiki yake, deal with this girl. So this lady, she's called Ann Ngugi. Akanipigia and she told me, Karo, we have a GBV seminar. Just give me your story briefly. Then I invite you to our seminar. You just have to listen and just get some knowledge on how to handle issues with yourself. So I went to that seminar, and that's where I met Diana Kamande. And they gave me a platform. Actually, it was the first time I opened up to my story. And the only thing I did was just to cry. Actually, I cried. Diana just hugged me. You know, my mom has never hugged me since I was born. Hey, God. Receiving that hug from Diana, I just felt some love. Like something I've never felt. You see? She hugged me. She just allowed me to cry. And she told me, Karo, just cry. Don't even talk, just cry. I cried, I cried, I cried. And she told me, I'll walk this journey with you. She even referred to me Nairobi Women Hospital. I went for counseling services for 2 good years. Like, the pain was so deep to an extent I just couldn't accept myself. So you are in a society whereby people will judge at you. Like, you get a man, he approaches you and says, can I have sex with you? And like, why? I'm not a sex toy. And he's like, really? Na watoto kwani ulipata aje? You see? And the events comes back to you. Like, even my own pastor told me, like, Karo, okay, my girl is now 12 years old. And he could tell me, Karo, this girl is approaching the age whereby you got raped. If you're not careful enough, she will also be raped.
That's so wrong.
This is the person whereby you expect to understand your situation because anajua what you have been going through. And through that journey of 2 years, I was able to heal. I could be able to just stand up to someone and say, even if you know my story, you don't know how it is started and you don't know how it's going to end. Yes, it is my story. I'm the one carrying it. I'm the one who began it. And I'm also the one who is going to end it. So through those therapy, with it helped a lot. And I came to accept myself. I came to realize that not all men are evil. Not everyone is judgmental. Like, there's still some good people out there, people who care, people who understand the situation. And whenever we have these meetings, when we talk, we encourage one another. Hata nasamanga, nye miss sijapitia. Kuna wengine, like, for example, the story of Diana. Like, whatever she went through. You see, the pain. Maybe I couldn't bear that. You see? But for me, I being through that pain, it made me stronger. It made me like to encourage somebody more and tell that person, yes, you are going through this today, but tomorrow God is going to get you out of this situation. God is going to bring victory to you, that you will forget all the pains you have been through. And you are going to testify and say, enyewe, hata kama nilichomwa na maji moto, sahi niko sawa. When somebody tells me nimechomwa, I will understand the pain and will know how to handle that case. For me, I'm just so happy. I'm so humbled and I'm so grateful for having to meet Diana and being part of Come Together Widows and Orphans organization. And I know we are going to do an amazing job.
Yeah.
And we are going to restore dignity to our people. Those who have been through rape, domestic violence, the society is yet to accept that such people are still human beings, that it's never our fault to have been raped, to have been in failed marriages. You see, anyone can go through that. But the way the society takes us, it's like we are at fault, like we triggered something.
Like you caused it.
Yeah. But for us, we are here to restore the dignity and make everyone feel special.
Perfect.
Because we are all special and we are all equal.
Well said.
And no one is bigger than the other one. Unaona? Sisi wote tumeumbwa na Mungu tu. And we are all, even the Bible says, we are beautifully and wonderfully made, like in the image of God and likeness of God.
Wonderful.
So let's treat one another with love, respect, and unison for the glory of God.
Okay, and Carol, how can people get you?
I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook as Carol and Chagaya. You can like my page. You can follow me. I'm on Twitter, Carol and Chagaya. Actually, all platforms, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere is just Carol and Chagaya. Yeah.
Okay, so and thank you so much for coming to Tuko Talk. Your story, when I listen to you, you've gone through so much violence, but today you can afford to smile. And it's so sad that the perpetrators were people that who were supposed to protect you. That was your grandfather, your brother selling you to a friend of his, Nona, but you are a conqueror. Sitting here and telling your story, and you know you're smiling as much as it's painful. Like I can imagine when because you have to relive that experience, but you're strong enough to share it with the whole world, and I really appreciate you for that. Also with the projects that you're doing, you're out there taking care of widows, taking care of survivors of GBV. Mungu azidi kukubariki, si ndio?
Amen.
To you, our Tuko family, thank you so much for joining today's episode. We really appreciate your support. Till next time, let's keep it Tuko Talks. But before I go, I want to shout out to my director, Shiro. She does amazing work behind the scenes, pale. Thank you so much.